In this video, I run multiple Google Ads to my micro-saas to show you the best strategy. I show you how to create campaigns, how to find the best keywords, find the winning creatives, and show you some very impressive results. Let's get started. All right, let me walk you very quickly what software I have. I built a landing page for this SaaS, which is basically a LinkedIn lead generation tool. It finds relative posts on LinkedIn based on keywords and semantic search. We enrich it with ChatGPT and AI, and then it would just find the relevant posts right here and then find people posting, and it can just export it to your CRM and start the sales cycle. I haven't actually built it. It was just for the video. My last video, speedrunning micro-saas. But how I found this product is I tried to go into B2B field, either corporate or e-commerce, and I did some research. I have a video on how to find the proper niche and the product. So we found this AI-powered LinkedIn prospect finder, which I built, and we also validated already in my previous video. I ran Google Ads to it, and we did keywords based, and we got about $8 to $9 per conversion. And the great thing about it, we removed all the free signups. So basically it tells you to just put your credit card and sign up. And since this product is for salespeople in corporate, right? So they don't use their own credit cards, they use corporate. So that's why this is really good. They're not spending their own money, they're spending a company's money. That's why it's a win. But in this video, I want to talk to you about different Google Ads strategies and which one is the best. And I'm going to run the comparison chart, so it's not just theory. I'm going to actually use this landing page that I created, and we're going to use that. So for this video, I set up Google Pixel already. It's in my previous video, speedrunning, if you need help setting it up, which is very simple. You just copy the script and you paste it on your landing page. Initially, we had on click. So when somebody clicks it, right, that's when you track it. But then when people sign up, you misattribute it. So now I track conversions only on this button when people add their email and sign up. All right, so let's get started. So one prerequisite that you need for running Google Ads, especially for search-based campaign, is keywords. And there's a few different ways to get the keywords. One is Google Trends, Google Search Console. I use SEO.ai. I'm not promoting their company, but I use it myself. So you can just come here and say, give me 100 relevant keywords to my SaaS, and just drop your link. It will crawl, you'll scrape your website, and it will give you relevant keywords. That's step number one. Let's do that. So it gave us relevant and not relevant keywords that we use. A lot of it just LinkedIn, which is great. And then these are just lists that AI generated. And then we're going to tell it to give us volume for them. So it gave us the results. I already know the keywords that are ranking high because I ran Google Ads, but since I'm doing it again to show the comparisons and to show you the best Google Ads strategy, I'm just going to show you what I did step by step. So it gave us the steps, right? So what we want to do is copy them into a notepad and remove the ones that are irrelevant. So LinkedIn lead generation, this is spot on. This is what our bread and butter. CRM integration, we have it, but it's not our main point. Social selling tools, we can have it. I don't think it's going to be the best one. LinkedIn sales prospecting, yes. Sales tools, yes. Sales insight, we're not in analytics field. CRM sync, no. Sales strategy, no. It's more of a like blog or the best strategies here. LinkedIn to Salesforce integration, once again, we would have it, but it's not our primary goal. LinkedIn sales automation, yes. Sales enablement, I would remove that. Okay, so now we have this list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keywords. What we're gonna do next is enrich them and find better ones. So let's just clean them up right now. Remove the volume. So we clean up these keywords, remove the volume, but we went to keywords tools AI and I used LinkedIn lead generation, which is our primary keyword. And we searched and it gave us suggested keywords. And we have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is our direct competitor. That's what we compete against. We could run ads against it, but it will be very difficult because they are running ads for their name. They're going to outbid us the entire time. We want to find pockets. LinkedIn ads, no. Advertising, no. Connections, no. Company page, no. Campaign management, no. Email, yes, potentially, but it's a tool of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. B2B lead generation, that's perfect because where do you want to do B2B lead generation? That's LinkedIn, and this is perfect for us. So we're going to add this here. LinkedIn marketing, profile optimization, lead generation strategies. No, because that's just blogs, analytics. LinkedIn lead generation, already have that. It's just lowercase. Automation tools. Do we have that? LinkedIn automation tools is great for us. Let's add this keyword. Okay, so our goal here is just to enrich the keywords. We want to give Google as many keywords as possible, and then Google, based on your keywords, will also add their keywords, because you want to give Google as much data as possible. So I did by accident, added LinkedIn lead generation lowercase. I replaced it with LinkedIn automation tools. I also found these two, lead generation tool and software. So if we go to the volume and just paste them here, you want to see these are our keywords right now, and ranking difficulties, that's just for SEO. This is not the point of this video. I made a video on SEO. You can check it out as well. But these are our keywords, and this is a good start. So now we know the keywords. Let's launch the campaigns. So now we have campaigns. And so what we're going to do is we want to do website traffic. That's what I do. And we have sign up conversions on. And now this is the most important part of the video, is like, which one do you want to choose, right? So for SaaS, you want to either do search, because that's what people search for, and the keywords that we found, they solve customers' problems. And then we have performance max, which is let Google decide where to run your ads. And that could be search, that could be YouTube, Gmail, Maps, Discover, and websites, display. Obviously, we're not a physical place, so it's not going to run them in Maps. But the best thing about Google will optimize it. And in this video, I'm going to compare search versus Max, because we either tell Google, no, I want to specifically to run search campaign, or let Google decide and run it for us. So we're going to launch two campaigns. The first one is we're going to do search, and I'm going to walk you through how to set it up. And then we're going to do PMAX, and I'll walk you through how to set it up as well. So let's get started. So first thing is the website. So we added the website, continue. Campaign name, I'm going to do search USA, and just search USA 1, continue. We're going to run them purely in USA. We could run them in other countries, but USA is people are willing to spend more money, and it's just higher quality leads. So we want to focus on conversions. You can set a target cost per action, which is cost per conversion. You can do it once you have enough data, and enough data is 30 to 40 conversions. In our case, 30 to 40 signups. Then you can adjust and kind of try to bring it lower. But since we don't know, I kind of do know a little bit from the campaign that I ran previously. It's still not enough data because I ran it for 4 or 5 days, a couple $100, but you still want to keep it off for your first campaign. Then next, we don't want to bid for new customers only, because we wanted to retarget the existing customers. We want to remove all of these. This is primarily for PMAX. So we're going to do USA, language is English. No, we're not running EU political ads. Next. Once again, it asks us to optimize the search campaign. I would suggest not do it, because that's just part of the PMAX. Then final URL, then you can just describe what your business does. What you can do is just copy your entire landing page, run it through ChatGPT, because it needs to be filled with keywords. So the next step is to create keywords in ad groups. These are suggested keywords that we have, which Google did it on its own, which is great. We just gotta kind of go and clear them out. Sales automation, sales prospecting, sales software, LinkedIn sales. We're not in this campaign, I'm not positioning our LinkedIn Sales Navigator competitor. Prospecting tool, Sales Navigator sync with Salesforce, no. We talked about it, no. CRM integration, no. Sales Nav, no. For Teams, there's just people looking for Sales Navigator. Okay, and now we're gonna enrich it with our keywords. So this is ours. This is what Google suggested. So now we gotta fill out the headlines, descriptions, and site links. I will do that, and I'll walk you through what I did. So I added the headlines, and the most important thing when you add the headlines, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong, is a lot of people say just add the keywords that people search for, which is not what you should be doing. what you want to be doing is you want to capture their attention right away. Because let's say they're searching for LinkedIn lead generation tool. They don't want to read the LinkedIn lead generation tool. They want something to capture their attention because you will be competing against competitors. So you have to capture the attention. How? To solve the problem that they're having in one sentence, and stuff like find buyers, close faster. That's what basically salespeople who use LinkedIn lead generation tool want. They want to double your B2B pipeline. Then LinkedIn lead generation tool, that's just an example of what you want to have as well, because right here, this is an example of an ad that's showing too, and it's going to show them your headlines in a row. So then you can add this as well. Increase LinkedIn exposure, get quality LinkedIn leads, automated outreach on LinkedIn, and stop cold outreach today. These are all headlines besides LinkedIn lead generation tool that would capture their attention. And then after that, they're gonna read more. And what they're gonna read more is the description. And the description is they actually just say exactly what your software does. In my example is LinkedIn lead generation tool and software for B2B teams. We can even remove and software tool for B2B teams. Automate prospecting, outreach, and sales with link growth, AI-powered link generation and sales automation for LinkedIn. Because, as I said, when they search for a keyword, then your ad pops up, and you have to capture their attention right away. You don't capture their attention with just a keyword. You capture their attention with something promising. You tell them what it's going to solve, and stuff like find buyers, close faster, stop cold outreach today. This one I think is really promising because they see that it solves their problem right away. It promises them, and then you just describe what your software does after that. And that, in my example, and as you can see, huge conversions. This is what's going to separate you from the competitors. So for the search campaign, all we need is headlines and descriptions. We don't need images. We don't need sitemaps. Display path, or site links, that's if you have multiple landing pages, and you can have that. For example, I keep saying LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is a tool by LinkedIn. So I could potentially just create a new landing page where we just compare ourselves against LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And I have here a little comparison chart because it's kind of like all-in-one landing page. But you could potentially have multiple landing pages and target different keywords. So that's what this is for. And all right, so save. So this is just a review. It says the ad strength is poor, which is, you can ignore this, and I'll show you why later, why you can ignore these. But the reason it says is we only have 7 out of 15. You can enrich it with all 15 headlines, which is not a bad idea because Google will just choose which ones to run because it will run all of these. And now budget, which is a very funny thing because I said Google would just tell you stuff. Let's say if I put $1, it says I'll get 4 weekly conversion, and my conversion will be $1.60. That would be amazing if that was truth, but that's not true at all. Even I already ran ads with Google. It already knows my average conversion. It still suggests that I will get $1.60 per conversion. So you can ignore these Google suggestions a lot of times. And even this $88 per day is also just recommended. I don't know why we would do this. Let's say, why would you do $88 when it's $15 per conversion versus $1 and it's $1.60? I don't know why they do this. It's just very wrong. They're just trying to get you to spend higher value. And when you're setting up your budget, it doesn't really matter where you're gonna run it. The more money you spend, the more data you're gonna get. I'm gonna run $20 per day on both of my campaigns for a couple of days. But all you want to care, the most important thing is cost per conversion. That's the most important value that we're looking at, because if your cost per conversion is $7 when you're running at $20, it's going to be very similar if you're running $60 per day. Yeah, it says $12. This is very incorrect. So for this video, I'm just going to do 25. Then it makes you review the campaign, and then we're just going to publish it. So you launch the campaign. If we go to the campaigns, we're going to see our Search USA one. And let's create a new campaign, PMAX campaign. We're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to set up PMAX. I'm just going to do PMAX USA 2 and click continue. It's going to ask us the same questions if we want to do cost caps or just bid for the new customer. We're gonna skip that. USA, English, no for EU political campaigns. Same thing here. We got the keywords and asset generation, so same description. Now we're gonna generate assets. So in our assets page, it's gonna be a little bit different now. The headlines are the same. Now we have long headlines as well and descriptions, which we're gonna just copy them from our first campaign. But then they ask you to do images. Since we don't have any images, we're just gonna use stock. We're gonna do we're gonna find some relevant stock images. Videos, that's if you're running video ads. We don't have any, so we're gonna skip that. And then it's gonna ask us call to action. Then it's gonna do search themes and audio signals. So let me walk you through each of them. So we're just gonna run one asset group, it's fine. I have my logo right here included. Now I'm just gonna copy real quick the headlines and the descriptions from the previous campaign. So the headlines here are very similar, they're the same as our first one. One difference here is we have long headlines, and what I wrote is just what it does. Once again, stuff like find real buying signals on LinkedIn, turn conversations into clients. You kind of want to show what it does. You want to stop their scroll, just talk about their problem, which is lead generation, and show what our tool does. Finds new clients, automates outreach, smart replies, scale your pipeline, stuff like that. And the best thing about Google is that it's still gonna test all of them and find the ones that perform the best. Then descriptions are the same. So now for images, I generated some images, but basically it's generic. Some of them are just LinkedIn login, just hands on the computer, some sort of graphic that has LinkedIn logo and a profile. Then just AI in the hand or analytics, then pipeline, kind of like a leads pipeline, stuff like that. You don't want to show them because it's going to be small images right here. You want to show lead, sales, conversion, stuff like that, closed. You don't want to show screens of your SaaS because it's going to be super small, and most people, that's what I think I forgot to mention, is 90% of people will be coming from their phones, and it's going to be a very small image, so you can do a graphic, something like that. Site links, again, same thing, already covered this. We don't have any videos. Call to action, we can either tell it ourselves, stuff like sign up, get quote, learn more, or let Google decide. In my experience, Google's actually pretty good at this sort of AI analytics. Google is actually pretty good at running all of them and deciding which one performs the best. Then you can do more assets, stuff like promotions. You can add promotion codes, prices. In my experience is the whole point of the ad, right? It's like a storytelling. You have to capture their attention. And after you capture their attention, they go here and they read everything about your website. So giving them promotions might be good for returning customers, but we can also optimize, and I'll make a video about this later, is where we have cold outreach to people who've never clicked on your ad before, and then warm outreach. So the kind of like a warm side of the funnel. So if you're interested in that, sign up. I'll make a video about this later. But for this, we're not going to do anything. No assets here. And when it comes to signals, search themes. If you've noticed, it didn't ask us for keywords in this campaign because it's a PMAX. It asks us for this in the search campaign. Here, you just have to put your keywords. That's what I did. I just entered the keywords that we used for the last campaign, but this is where it goes. And finally, the audience signal. This is where you can upload the list of your existing customers, and based on their email, so algorithm will go and find you similar leads. But since we don't have any, we're not going to put anything here. And now we're again in the budget page. I'm going to run the exact same budget for this campaign as I did for the other one. We have to fix a few mistakes. I don't know why I thought we put PMAX. All right, we fixed that. And once again, I don't know why it's struggling with this. We're running it in the United States, so I guess we can just remove it. I've never had this issue before. That's weird. So let's just skip that. Maybe it will. No, I cannot publish a campaign. I hope I don't have to restart the campaign. That would be very annoying. Okay, I fixed the issue. I just had to refresh the page, but that's just Google for you. Let's just publish the campaign. Okay, perfect. So the campaign is published. So now if you go to campaigns, and now we have our two campaigns here. And as you can see, we just launched them, so it's not spending anything. It has to get approved first, so it will take a couple of hours. You can ignore the optimization scores. As we saw, Google can suggest some random stuff. But here we go. I'll just check back in a couple of days, and hopefully I'll share some good results with you guys. All right, we got some very impressive results. So we basically ran these two campaigns at $20 per day, and we ran them for almost 5 days. And they're still running, as you can see, the green lights. We spent almost $180 and $20 per each. And the results are very impressive. Let's take a look at PMax and search. PMax got 30 conversions and search got 11. So we can see that PMax just destroyed $2.8 per sign up versus $8.60 per sign up. And interesting thing here is interaction rate is much lower on PMax than it is for search. It's almost double. But the thing is, search just costs more. Google charges your account more for search than PMax. Google just lets PMax automate everything and choose where to run your ads. That's why the cost is so much cheaper. And the cost per conversion is so much cheaper, as you can see. But let's take a look at the PMax first and see what worked, because we copied it from the search campaign. And if we're gonna click on asset details and click on conversion, I already sorted it. We can see on asset type description, and this is, it spent most money on this description, which we have to compare against other descriptions. And we have another description somewhere here. So it tested 3 descriptions. One, it barely tested, 1 click. The other one, it spent $40, and this one spent $80. And as you can see, what's the difference here? This one says get more leads, close more deals. Very to the point. This one, it's more like a story. LinkedIn growth, finds the posts that matter, analyzes. So as you see, by far just show goal oriented, solve their problem, get more deals and close more leads, or deals, or get more leads and close more deals. This is much better. And then for the business name, obviously just put our business name in there. And for the headlines, it kind of, as you probably split tested. This one is spend $15, this is $30, $35. And the most profitable one, we got 10 conversions on this one. This is LinkedIn lead pipeline, very to the point. And then very close second is get warm leads on autopilot, which are all really good results, very good results. And then let's take a look at the other campaign. The search campaign, it performed way worse. It was 4 times cost per conversion. Well, let's take a look at the conversion. We got 6 conversion on B2B lead generation. Then we got LinkedIn lead generation tool, which is our primary keyword, which is great. We got $7 per conversion. The last one is social selling tools. We got 2 conversions, $10 per conversion. So these are, in my opinion, also not bad results, but the point of this video is which Google ad campaign should you run? And by looking at the cost per conversion for PMax versus just regular search, is we have a very clear winner here. And the reason is, yes, you know, interaction rate is going to be lower, but it's just much cheaper, because as I said earlier, it's much cheaper to run PMax campaign than Google search campaign. So I think these are very good results. And one thing to say about the campaign, when you have these options, either search, PMax, or the other ones, let's say if you have a video, you can test video versus PMax, but as you can guess, PMax is going to outperform your video or any other type of campaign that you have. The last thing I want to add is I do consultancy with a very small group of people, 2 to 5 people per month. If you're interested, hit the first link in the description. What we do here is we discuss the product ideas, the SaaS ideas, then we build them together. We build a landing page, we build the actual application, and then the most important thing, we go into marketing. And we touch Google ads, we obviously touch other marketing channels like influencer marketing, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Snapchat ads. All of these are very important and they really depend on your SaaS. So if you're interested, hit the first link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. That helps the channel a lot. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much.